My son Elan is finishing the service in the Israeli army next week. Here is a story he wrote based on a true event. Her Star of David heart. Two triangles rest upon the space between her chest and neck, permanently etched there as if painted with the ash from a cigarette. Their placement and proportion seem to suggest that this Moroccan beauty begs to be noticed by someone other than her mother. But Anat does not wear David's star on her heart as a statement or as some attention whore's exclamation mark. No, the tattoo reminds Anat of who and what she is on a daily basis, and that is Israeli. The first time I caught a glimpse of the star's right side, revealed by her collar-cut kibbutznik shirt, I could not help myself. I had to ask her why. Why act out in a blatant disregard to the faith you follow? You aren't so proud of your religion that you would loudly exhibit it with a brazen star. Emblazoned scars, last I checked, are still taboo to Jews, so what are you doing with a tattoo on your heart? I immediately assumed that Anat did as so many Israelis do, believing that because our grandparents had numbers burned onto their arms, choosing to do so to ourselves proves how far we have come, as if it's some epidemic revolution. In other words, BS. And after I finished reciting my self-righteous tirade, my lecture on jewelry and tattoo artistry, Anat answered calmly, if I don't see that star in the mirror, I will forget why I live here. She told me. Her reflection she once shared with an identical pair of brown as dark eyes and similar wrists running veins like rivers. I did not know this at the time. I did not know that Anat's twin sister had boarded bus 14A in Jerusalem 2 years, 3 months, and 17 days into the Al-Aqsa Intifada. And then on its way to wherever, the passengers became stuck forever. Stuck in infinite transit, the moment the suicide bomber pulled the wire to self-destruct. Leaving Anat abandoned, leaving the remains of her sister in what she saw in the mirror. Anat demanded I hear everything. She told me that one day, when it became too difficult to bear, she decided to impair the spitting image of her sister forever. Anat asked an Allenby Parlour artist for a scar, a mark, anything to make her sister just disappear. So he drew the most typical symbol, a stenciled colored cliché, 2 intertwined triangles that stains Anat's chest to this day. But the mundane star, instead of discarding her sister's face in her own, became and remains a painted gravestone. So I asked her, how can you stay? How can you continue to pray for peace when it's no more than a pipe dream lost somewhere in between photo ops and staged handshakes? Can you still call Israel, this shell-shocked country, your own? Aware your future son might carry guns in its name, will you allow the same senseless hate to follow them home? How can you stay? I stopped and I looked at Anat, and I watched the severe line around her eyes soften. I do not know how often she asks herself the same questions. I do not know the extent of her escape-bound obsessions. But when the pain in her face lessens and the corners of her mouth bend, alone surfaces this small, exultant yet heartbroken grin. And at last, I understand why the tattoo stains her skin. Anna tells me, it's home.